Ooh, test, 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 test. How we sounding? How are we sounding? 1 second. Yeah. I'm gonna get myself on the screen. What's up, people? Outside in, I see you. I see you in the chat. Shout out, Fishroom Punks in the building. Mick, of course. Yuyo, how's it going? Overtly overstocked Oscars. Yeah, we got the crew is assembling. This is the beginnings of a good stream. All the troublemakers are here. Echoey. What does that sound like? Echoey. Was it? It was you. The gaslighting. Oh, 186 in here? Oh, shit. Oh, we're really cooking now. All right. Let's get this all together. Yep, a little bit of a combo stream today, you know. When I first was streaming, we did a lot of, like, just random topics throughout. I would go through the effort to before stream, put them all in the title, and over time, you know, I just got so lazy, bro. So I got to get back on my my topics, you know what I mean? So I was like, let's get Rate Your Tank stream, and then we'll also cover a few stories kind of related to some of the stuff we talked about last time. So, you know, we're keeping it congruent. That's a word. Don't know what it means. But how's everyone doing? What you guys been up to? What you been watching? We're back in here. Hardest working fish stream. No matter what happens. You know what I mean? We take a week off. We take a month off. Still hardest working. It's about what's in here. You know? And we've been putting in the work. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Shout out the replay crew coming in strong for the last stream. And just to shout out the replay people even more, I want to show you people what they say, because recently I've been pleased to see that those that watch the replays have been more consistently leaving a comment, because we miss out on their comments live, but you know, you still have the opportunity to leave comments, even multiple comments throughout as you're watching, as if you're in the chat. And I want to encourage that behavior, okay? Because I enjoy it. Because I saw Cam Jam dropped a lot of comments on the last one. So this was from we went over the robot arowanas, we had the goldfish paper, we had the traveling aquarium, and some of the replay crew chimed in. So since they weren't here live, I'm gonna let the live people know what's up. So Cam Jam said the travel aquarium is pretty sweet. Will be cool to Vince. To Platypus said W Mick, W Late Night Crew, the stream that goes hours after the topics are covered. Always a good time. Appreciate y'all. See? Imagine if you just watched and never let us know. Now we got a smile on our face. I saw Adam up in here. Adam LH96 said replay crew reporting for duty at ease. Cam Jam said, I live by the Ohio River, and these big-ass fish make me shiver to think I've swam in there with them before. Holy. Taplabba said, saying the fish come to us when talking about electrofishing is hilarious. They get stunned and float to the surface. Hope you all signed permission slips for the field trip. If you guys missed it, they were talking about the traveling aquarium exhibit, and I guess they just show up on location, go to a local waterway, and they just shock a bunch of fish, put them in the trailer, and take them to wherever they're showing the fish at. So he said, we put light shocks in the water, and the fish just come to us. It was pretty funny. Okay. Oscar said, drought also impact our tap water worse when it pours. Oh, wow. JP Jeffries up in here, hardest working. Let's go. So let's see. What should I get started? I feel like I want to warm up. So if you're just getting here, we're going to do rating people's tanks. So what I need you guys to do is to start going to Discord and sending photos of your tanks. Okay, we've done this before. We've done this several times, and basically you guys are just going to submit photos of your tanks. I'm going to sit here and judge them. And no one's feelings are going to get hurt because I'm only going to say nice things. We don't have Bomba on here, right? How mean could I be? Think about it. Ask yourself. You know the answer. So until then, what have you guys been watching? Anything interesting? It's only been like I streamed 2 days ago, so we're being pretty consistent right now. So there's not as much time between where you'd be watching a bunch of other stuff, but you must have watched something still. So what have you guys been watching? I see the fish fan bot in the chat. Just a picture, not video. Video will probably be easier, but you can send video too if you'd like. But I think pictures probably send a picture. You know what I mean? Send a picture. Oh my gosh, the newts are out and about tonight. Look at this. I'm loving it. I need to get the filtration together on this tank. Get some of these fine particles they're kicking up. It's also some cocoa core remnants, because I did have cocoa core in this tank, which I have a lot of thoughts about cocoa core as a substrate, but I don't really know how I feel about it. I will say it looks really nice. It does look nice. It gives a nice earthy vibe. Not in this tank, but like in tanks where I have more cocoa core as a substrate, it does give a nice little earthy look. Probably better for things that don't kick it up all the time. Yuyo said the newts are funny fellas. Yeah, they're hilarious. Said maybe I'll become Scudman and your rival. Oh, hell no. 186 said I'm still recovering from my last Rate My Tanks episode. What? I said nothing but nice things. Look, Mamba isn't here. Oh shit, we got Fathom in the chat. What's up, Fathom? Said not familiar with this breed, but your dog looks weird, bro. Thank you. I asked him for the weirdest one, because you know how like you walk your dog around the neighborhood and then you come past other people walking and they want to talk to you, and maybe their dog wants to talk to you. Like, I just wanted the weirdest looking dog so everyone would leave me the hell alone. Don't talk to me. Look at what I got dragging along with me. Do you really want to engage with this? So yeah, I asked for the weirdest dog that they had. Oscar says it makes a mess to me. Yeah, it does. Now, if you don't want a weird dog, robots are looking better and better. I'm not gonna lie. Robots are looking better and better on the pet factor. I feel like the robotic arowana we looked at last stream, we gave it a bad rap. It was $5,000. I know none of us can afford that, let's be real. And if we can, we probably want to buy something else, like a real arowana, not a fake one. But I feel like we're a little bit harsh on the robotic arowana, especially Mick. You know what I mean? He's always so judgmental. So I was looking around for some more aquatic robot competition that perhaps we could get into. Fathom said, "Oh yeah, let's hear about this $29,000 clanker." Hold up, wait, I can't start with the $29,000 one. Okay. I want to warm us up to that. There's one more I didn't put in the title, because in order to get you to spend the $29,000, I have to show you a more exciting use. Let me verify Cloudflare. Okay, so have you ever wanted a robot that could spy on your fish for you? You know what I mean? Kind of look at everything, inspect. Well, I found this robotic fish prototype. They say cuts aquaculture stress while inspecting nets and water. Ooh, doesn't this sound exciting? Now look, unlike the arowana, it doesn't even try and imitate the beauty. It doesn't even try and imitate the beauty of a fish. It just kind of looks like CCTV, Fathom said, okay, start with the Temu BattleBot. This will take a second. Yes, this apparently is the prototype aquaculture inspector. The Center for Research in Robotics and Underwater Technologies at Universitat Jaume in Castello has developed an experimental modular, like my power supply, bio-inspired robotic fish prototype. It has this is a great little initialism here it has for it. UGIFISH. Ugifish. Wow. Hybrid teleoperation and sensor deployment in aquaculture, its innovation lies in a functional design that eliminates stress factors such as propellers, high-intensity lighting, while maintaining high standards of modularity. Oscar said, where do I drop some pics? Link is in the description. Drop it in the Discord in the live discussions channel, or you can email me at inmytanks@gmail.com. Yo said, if I was a fish, I'd be scared of that thing. Now, hold up. It's getting rid of the stress factors. No propellers, high-intensity lighting, and it's maintaining high standards of modularity and interoperability, which, whenever a fish looks at a robot, you know the first thing that they think of is, oh my god, it's high standards of modularity. It's not there. The interoperability is just not up to snuff. So we fixed those problems here. They published a study in the Journal of Ocean Engineering. The biomimetic platform has been designed to minimize environmental disturbance and reduce stress by using bio-inspired undulatory propulsion. 1 second. I just accidentally clicked on a link. Yes, bio-inspired undulatory propulsion. I'm trying to find a better description. Hello, Cloudflare. Which lowers mechanical noise, hydraulic turbulence, and physical disruption. Eat it or breed it? Would you eat this robot or breed it? That's a good question. It's not sounding too appetizing. The pop-ups are crazy. The pop-ups are going insane on this site, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The modern web is terrible. All the ads have adders. Is it bad? I've like filtered my mind. I'm like so focused on reading the text, I didn't even notice the ads were that bad. It features a panoramic vision system with a 180-degree field of view and can operate at depths of up to 20 meters with remote control ranges of up to 150 meters vertically and 500 meters horizontally. UjiFish incorporates sensors for continuous measurement of water depth with the option to integrate additional sensors to monitor parameters such as salinity, pH, dissolved oxygen, and gases. It enables direct inspection of net structures and monitoring of environmental conditions around fish and includes a deployment system for transporting and releasing auxiliary components at specific locations. Its geometry and movement have been scaled to match adult fish, producing smoother hydrodynamic profiles and reducing acoustic disturbance. We got a video. Let's go. Oh my god, bro. Someone was asking whether we should eat it or breed it. Look at this movement. We're breeding this. Come on. Let's be real. Don't leave me alone in this. Look at that. Honestly, it's moving more fish-like than the $5,000 arowana. Look at this. I mean, I'm convinced. This is what they call undulatory propulsion, huh? All they gotta do is just put a skin on it, and then what? Like, do we got DLC? Speaking of ads, it's got, look at how it's like all the sponsors of this at the top. What's up, Jacob? How's it going? Mix of the prototype. I mean, what do you guys think? Does this win versus the $5,000 arowana that's soft-bodied? Or are you breeding this? I'm not gonna lie. If it didn't have the cord, you know, I'm kind of sold. Yo said, arowana? You're taking the arowana? I feel like this thing swim better than the arowana. Oh, look, they're taking it for a walk in the big water. Mick said, same shit, different name. So you're telling me you guys aren't buying this? We're going to have to go to the $29,000 one or whatever. Is that what's about to happen? Yo said, the cables are annoying me. I agree. The cables are kind of terrible. Experimental results have confirmed the prototype's functional viability, demonstrating high maneuverability. Okay, 1 second. High maneuverability. Let's just, High maneuverability. What do you guys think? High maneuverability or not? I might be doubting that claim just a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Hubby has RC toys that swim better with no cord, but does it have the sensors and the teleoperation, data collection, and sensor deployment? According to a research team, the flexibility of UJFish is essential in aquaculture environments where monitoring requirements and technological constraints vary depending on species, infrastructure, and environmental conditions. It represents a significant step forward in precision aquaculture and underwater robotics, supporting environmentally responsible operations and reducing the need for human intervention in hazardous underwater environments. Future developments were focused on improving autonomy, endurance, and sensing capabilities, including the integration of advanced sensors and an artificial swim bladder system for active buoyancy control, enabling greater depth ranges and improved engineering. So check this out. Underwater robot pioneers new energy efficient buoyancy control. Look at this. Team Baymax, including all these names, a basis project in an academic paper by researchers at Rice and Houston University showing that fuel cell enabled depth control could reduce AUVs, autonomous underwater vehicles, energy consumption by as much as 85% compared to traditional DC motor-based thruster designs. Fadi Gorable, a professor of mechanical engineering and bioengineering at Rice, and the team sponsor, is a co-author on the study. The BIMAX student team was excited to implement an innovative research idea based on electrolysis. The idea involves the transformation of water into hydrogen and oxygen gases to control the underwater vehicle's buoyancy to mimic fish swim bladders. The research is part of a collaborative program between my lab, the lab of Professor Laura Schaefer at Rice, and Professor Zhang Chen's lab at the University of Houston. This collaborative research aims to develop tetherless continuum soft engines that utilize reversible proton exchange, membrane fuel cells, and water electrolyzers to drive volume mass transformation. Pretty cool. Come on. Come on, your RC car can't do that. Come on. He did have one for the pool. Used it in my tanks. Fish moved out of the way. Cats caught it eventually. The cats always catch things eventually. A robotic swim bladder is kind of cool, though. All right, let's get to the big expensive one. No one seems to be convinced about this. That's kind of what I'm gathering. You do not. None of you seem to be buying. You know, you don't want to hit the buy button. I just don't get it, man. It's a robot. Like, what else could you ask for? But here we go. Robots are joining a fight to protect fish and crops from the elusive invaders in the Colorado River. Ooh.
Invasive species are...
Oh, an AI reader. I'll get that out of here. So, I have a couple awkward things to admit about this robot. One, it kind of looks like a box. It kind of looks like, you know, like a Gonk droid, you know, like from Star Wars. This kind of look like little cubes. It's kind of what the vibe that this thing is giving me. It's not really swimming around like that. It's still a robot. Trust me, it's still it kind of reminds me of this, you know, a Gonk droid. But yeah, invasive species are on the march in the Colorado River, threatening everything from endangered native species in Arizona to Colorado's juicy Palisade peaches. They lurk in hard-to-find places and can rapidly multiply, with one species of destructive mussel laying as many as 30,000 eggs. Finding and containing these cryptic species before they settle into a new area is critical, so scientists are developing a new tool on the front lines to find and contain the invaders. Enter the environmental DNA autosampler. Lure. Fathom said this is super interesting. I can't tell if that's sarcasm. At first glance, it looks like an unglamorous silver storage trunk with a hose coming out of it. But it's hard to tell it's actually a $29,595 sophisticated robot. And I'll put the link to this robot in the chat, where you can see the eDNA autosampler. It has a whole website, smithroot.com/eDNA/eDNA-autosampler, When you can't be there, eDNA auto sampler does the job. Let's watch the commercial. Maybe you guys will buy it after this. Okay? Tell me there's some audio going on here. Why can't I hear it? There's gotta be audio. There's no way. Bro. The pet factor. Okay, I was just checking to make sure my playback worked. I guess the audio is not available in this video. Well, you can see it's quite a complicated box. Oh my gosh, bro. Sometimes it's not feasible to send a person out to collect eDNA samples, such as at night or when field staff are limited. That's when you need a sampling robot. The Smith Root auto sampler is the simplest and most affordable. Oh, most affordable. Okay. Let's hit buy now real quick. Jacob said super interesting. Oscar said they do DNA sampling by the water, they being rangers. eDNA is so cool, Yurio said. And okay. So here it is. We'll get back to the article, but they didn't lie. 29,595 USD. Conveniently has some nice handles on the side. They have some other stuff in here that's also expensive. Some other eDNA stuff. Look, $138 for eDNA water sampler hose kit. Oh man, we got the in the field attachment. Look at this. Yo, are you about to sample by eDNA, or are we about to have an intense Yu-Gi-Oh match? I can't even tell the difference right now. This is actually kind of crazy. Well, anyways. So yes, at first glance, it looks like an unglamorous silver storage trunk with a hose coming out. It's hard to tell it's actually a $29,595 robot. The machine autonomously takes water samples to find microscopic traces of organic matter like scales and skin cells to determine if invasive species have been present in the water. U.S. Geological Survey fish biologist Kimberly Dibble has recently been using the tech to search for invasive smallmouth bass in Colorado River near the Glen Canyon Dam. Shout out Jose in the chat. Hope you're doing well, and a couple fish I see you up in here too. The predators are devouring native species like razorback suckers and humpback chub. Okay. Those both sound like hideous fish. I'm just going to look those up. Razorback suckers. Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. A face only a mother could love. Many mothers would be challenged by this. Don't look as bad in this picture. This picture looks a little bit more... Okay, that's a weird looking cool fish. The close-ups are not great. Maybe it's the focal length, you know? We need to hit them with the telescopic lens. But, yeah, okay. We got the razorback suckers. Crazy name, by the way. And the humpback chub. Yo, does the invasive species endanger anything that doesn't have a horrible name? It only endangers the ugly fish. This just looks like a silver version of the other fish. Okay. So we have the humpback chub and the razorback sucker. It's a major step towards real-time biosurveillance of river systems that provides managers with continuous monitoring that'd be impossible to collect through traditional sampling alone. Before the rise of eDNA technology, scientists were more reliant on labor-intensive methods like electrofishing to try and find the bass by putting an electric current through the water. Efforts to get rid of invasive species are very costly. It takes a lot of boots on the ground, lots of hands in the water to try and find fish that are relatively rare in a system that haven't started increasing in population size yet. Scientists says the eDNA autosampler has become a smoke alarm for invasive species. A smoke alarm for invasive species. Wow. Only 30,000. If detected, they can alert wildlife managers. They can sort of target their rapid response efforts around a specific area to save time and money. So you can see the inside of this is On the outside, it looks like a box. On the inside, it looks like a very complicated box. Names the best part of the fish. Oh my gosh. Invasive smallmouth bass. Apparently, bass are like North American versions of cichlids. They would do some damage. Oh, okay. eDNA detection was born in Europe and began finding elusive bullfrogs in the early 2000s. It was then deployed in the Great Lakes to locate invasive carp. Oh, let me put the link to this article in the chat, by the way. Adam Seblaveda is a research zoologist and one of Diblo's colleagues at USGS. He's hoping to build a vast network of autonomous robots to scan western waterways. But the current price tag of $30,000 for the commercially available units is an obstacle. Efforts are underway to test the device and eventually scale up the technology. Trial runs are happening in some of the nation's most remote and sensitive ecosystem. Sepulveda said park rangers at Dinosaur National Monument in northwest Colorado recently set up one of the auto samplers to search for signs of the invasive rusty crayfish in the Green River. He added they were able to let the robot do its sampling work while the humans continued with a list of duties like counting birds and bighorn sheep. What the? Bro. Yo, sometimes the wildlife jobs, it doesn't even sound real. It's like, thank God, man. Thank God I got this eDNA robot. Without it, my hands would be full. I wouldn't be able to get to the important things like counting sheep. It sounds like you're planning a way to sleep on the job. Like, is this just a coded way of saying I want this thing to do the work so I can sleep? Because, counting sheep, you're not slick, bro. You're not slick. I've been focusing a lot of my efforts on these smaller parks because the biologists often don't have the time or personnel to dedicate to highly intensive biomonitoring. Bob said, holy, what did I miss? Just got home. Oscar said, you figured the scam out? You didn't miss much yet. We're looking at the robot. I've been focusing a lot of my effort. I read that. The eDNA sampler is also during a critical fight in Colorado's Grand Valley. The tiny zebra mussel has recently infected more than 100 miles of the Colorado River from the Utah border to the confluence of the Eagle River. Farmers worry the mussels could clog irrigation systems and spoil crops like Palisade peach. The robot will soon be on the front lines. And here's an adult zebra mussel on a rock. Kind of looks like a rock itself. What we're intending to do with it in 2026 is deploy in one of the canal systems over there in the Grand Junction area just to try and give us the highest probability of detecting something and when it starts moving through that canal system. The technology's been out there. It's just becoming more mainstream and accessible for people to utilize. We're trying to use all the tools in the toolbox to better understand what's going on in western Colorado. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Is this W robot? Perhaps? A little bit more convincing than the last two that we looked at? I feel like you guys have been a little bit picky when it comes to the robots. I'm not gonna lie. It's a big river. Yeah, that's true. It is. It's a big river. Yo said, "Awesome robot. Let's go." Come on, robot acceptance. We've come a long way in society. eDNA is such cool technology. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm trying to see if I can find the video that actually works with some audio so they can explain it to us. You know what I mean? Because I see the box, but I don't understand what's in the box. I don't know, bro. If he's not running ChatGPT premium subscriptions, I'm not invested. Oh my God. I see how it is. I see how it is. You want to see the AI and that investor portfolio. You want them to let you know they're spending the good money on the AI. I get it. I get it. All right. I don't know if anyone's put any pictures of their fish tanks in the Discord yet, but if you haven't, put some pictures of your tanks in the Discord so we can judge them as a group. Smith Root eDNA sampler. But I got a couple other things to discuss. So that's fine. I'm just trying to find the damn robot.
Say it again.
Bundle in.
Bruh.
Much from me today. I'm just going to do a very brief intro and then hand over to Austin. But
But God, this is them in Australia.
System.
They got a Look, they got a backpack
Showed a
version.
couple of different methods for in-field filtration using these Nalgene filter funnels that have 47 millimeter membrane filters in them. And they were using a variety of different, pumps like drill-powered peristaltics to filter that water and then fold up those membranes and stick it into some kind of preservative like ethanol or Longmire's buffer. Another great protocol from that time was the Kareem et al. Protocol.
Wait, we're getting a history of eDNA right now. This is just free on the internet? All right, guys, bear with me, but I'm interested in this. We're watching this for a second.
USGS, or actually the National Genomics Center group, came up with this protocol. So they were taking these geopumps, another peristaltic option, adding those filter funnels. They swap out the membranes in those filter funnels for a glass fiber because it gets a little better flow rate. And then they send this out to a whole bunch of project partners. So we started looking at, what are the limitations of this? And, we've heard a little bit about syringe filters already today. So the issue with water transport is that it really limits your sample size. There's only so much water that you can tote back to the lab to filter. There's also the problem of DNA degradation. So if you're bringing water back to the lab to filter it, there's always some transport time, and there's the concern that degradation occurs in that interim. Wow. The pore sizes that are available in most of these things are also not the best for filtering eDNA. If what you're interested in is fish or other vertebrates, the particle size tends to be a little bit larger. And so if you're using something that's designed for filtering microbes, you're really kind of choking down that filter and really limiting the amount of water you can filter.
I hate when that happens.
And then that sampling gear was not purpose built, right? Like it was, designed for other processes, and so therefore it was not made for people who are doing eDNA sampling. So this is what we conceived.
Now this is what I'm talking about. All that stuff he was just saying, bring a drill out to run a pump and stuff. No. Give me the eDNA sampling backpack. Now this is Now does it let me fly too? Because I feel like this is a lot of weight to carry just to sample water. I hope it has a bottle opener on it or something else. But
was this fully integrated backpack eDNA filtration system that contained purpose-made single-use inline filter housings that allow you to then get away from the location that's being sampled, right? So you don't have to go into the water to collect that sample. There's no contamination risk associated because you have a pole extension.
Nice.
It would then have a smart pump, so a computer-controlled pump that's going to be integrating sensor feedback and controlling all the filtration parameters. A remote control so that a single operator could be running one of these things in the field. And then a place, storage for all of those consumables. So all those.
I like that. Wow.
To show one to you.
The technology.
So
now how
going
much
back
is this?
To kind of those custom-made eDNA filter housings, why those are important for this process. Trying to find ways to use those self-preserving filters to do manual sampling. R&D. This is the stuff we're working on, the cutting edge.
Oh wait, this is 3 years ago. So he talks about how they're working on designing a robot.
This is all the R&D.
Look at the damn photo they used. This is not at all what the robot ended up looking like.
This is the stuff we're working on.
Oscar said, a study came out about water samples and the DNA. They found very cool information. Most of the study was explaining how they retrieved the samples.
The cutting edge.
I see.
So one of the things that a lot of people are interested in is autonomous sampling. And so we are developing an eDNA sampling robot
sending the photos and videos.
Our
we'll get to that in a
self-preserving
second.
filters because it really simplifies the whole automated sampling process. So there are a few different automated samplers out there right now. Most of them are really expensive and quite complicated to run.
Oh yeah, yours was
because they're
cheap.
doing either microfluidics to do automated extraction in the field or automated preservation using liquid buffers in the field. Our samples, you just have to pump air through it, right? So it filters water, and then you run some air through it at the end, and you're done. So this system here is a prototype that we've developed. Instead of a plastic bag housing each sample in this case, it's an aluminum manifold. So each one of these filters is going to be in its own aluminum chamber, and then it's housed inside this box.
This is kind of cool going back in time, seeing when they're talking about a prototype of what we just discussed.
You tell the sampler, okay, I want you to take one sample, every other day for a month or whatever it is. And then the system goes to sleep. It goes into a low power state. And then at the scheduled time, it wakes up, filters the water that you want, shuts itself off, and then waits for the next sample. And the target cost for these is probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark of around 20,000 USD, by comparison to 100,000 plus for some of the other systems that are a little bit more sophisticated. And then the last thing I'll touch on is
that was all I really needed for extra explanation on the robot. Yuyo said the backpack is super neat. Oscar said, "Did you say where to send pics?" Yep, the link is in the description. Or you can also email them me and hope that I remember to check my email during the stream. inmytanks@gmail.com. Yo, by the way, did you guys see Outside In pretending like he's going to make me into a Fishroom Punk? Check this out. Outside In Aquatics. I seen this post. And it said, I'll give you YouTube peeps a little sneak preview of one of the cards coming up. I was just scrolling on my YouTube and I was like, yeah, that kind of looked like me. Wait a second. That is me. Also, whatever perspective that this photo's been, I look like Megamind in this damn thing on the left, the reference photo. I think he must have taken that from the banner photo on my Facebook page. But what the hell happened to my forehead? That's what I want to know. Cause look, this is the photo that he took it from. Okay, this is me with my group, Coke's music group. You see me on the right. I feel like my forehead looks relatively proportional, from that perspective. Obama said he did you dirty. I feel like I look relatively damn, bro. I look like exactly the same. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, I went to this job fair the other day. This lady was like, "Are you in college?" I'm like, "No." I said, "I'm about to turn 100 or whatever." And she was like, "You're aging beautifully. Oh my goodness." I'm like, "Yeah, honestly, it's been a minute since I've changed." But anyways, yeah. So I recognized the photo, and then it looks like there's a card design coming into play here, which is interesting. It looks like he's using some Ember Bees down here, which I just got. I haven't bred those yet. I know there's usually alliteration with these cards. So in my tanks, Isopod in my tanks, Isopod Illuminator in my tanks. What are some I descriptors for me? Isopod. Man, I don't even know. Isopod Isolator, Isopod Isolationist. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Only Oscar said hello. What's up, Lilyfish and Only Oscars? I see you joined the Discord. See if you can make your way to you can do the photos channel, the live discussion channel. Damn. Mixon put a video that's pretty cool in the Discord, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, we got Only Oscars. Now ideally we get a full zoomed out photo of a fish tank, so we can judge this tank. But we'll pull up whatever photos people send. So what do you guys think I should be named if I'm turned into a card? Isopod Instigator. Oh, Wise Bro holding a book. I think that's supposed to be like the ground. It's an early draft. I do like, I like where this is kind of going a little bit. We'll see how AI I look at the end of it, because let me see. Fishroom Punks. Let's look at some of how I could end up. You know what I mean? So if you're not familiar, I put the link in the chat. But Fishroom Punks is some collectible cards of a bunch of people in the FishTube community. So perhaps maybe I'll get a card. Look, Moneyless Maven is in here. Brighton Lightcap. I haven't seen him in a minute. Warm Wrangler Willie. What the hell is that? Warm Wrangler Willie. Pause. That's all I gotta say. Primetime Aquatics. Looking buff as hell. I mean, how am I gonna turn out? We got Jeff Kane here. Bro, this can't be Aquarium Co-op's card, bro. Yo, I know he did me dirty, but there's no way this is cooperative Corey. I mean, he's got the easy green bottles, but yo, this is kind of crazy, bro. He looked like the kid asking for another tub of ice cream, dog. Like, Corey don't look this hungry in real life. Wild. What the fish? Bama said, "Oh, I fuck with it. I fuck with this now." So perhaps, I mean, listen, I just saw a post. I don't know if it's something that's actually gonna happen, but perhaps the beginnings of a card. So I'm just curious what my name would be. We got Mr. Primetime. Yeah, I guess there doesn't have to be an alliteration. I thought there was at some point. But yeah, and my tanks. And my tanks card. Shit. Let's get to look into some of your tanks. Hold up. Kind of looks like Ader Dingus. Bruh. Is this some kind of TikTok brain rot meme? I'm not even gonna investigate what that is. I'll probably be study buddy Nick. What's up, Maven? By the way, I saw you on Discord. I gotta respond still. I gotta look at my schedule. Okay. Let's see. People are starting to send in some pictures of some fish tanks. So let's get into it. Are you guys ready? Are you ready to rate your own tanks? Well, we're starting off with this one. And this is from Bomba. Now, let me get everything set up properly. Let's get the sizing right. Pause. I guess. Cover my bases. Let me make the picture of the tank a little bit bigger. And then let me just real quickly get our rating system on the screen. Because, you know, you gotta just objectify the tank, you know, put a number to it. Otherwise, what are we even doing here? So, here we go. So, Bomba in the chat, he's saying it's a UNS 5S 2.5G Cuba Carpet S Repins on 88 cabinet. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the 88 cabinet's gonna stay. We're name dropping. We're name dropping the brand of the cabinet now. Is this where we're at in fish keeping? I gotta pretend to care about what cabinet you got your tank on. You know what? If your tank isn't on a 2x4, are you even a real fish keeper? Come on. Oscar said, my cat loves jumping. My cat loves it, jumping on the screen. Oh, loves the take. jumping on the screen. Put some Anubias on driftwood in my opinion, but overall very nice. Oh, we want some Anubias added. That's what's going on here. Okay. This is out of 42. What do I think about this tank myself? You're moving the cursor? Yes, I am. Attack the cursor, cat. Get it. Get it. Jago said, my tanks are on concrete blocks and 2 boards with shims in between because my floor is uneven. Sounds good to me. I was thinking about doing one of those kind of stand situations. Minus points for not showing easy green and slurs. Okay. This is a very nice looking little tank, but there are some points that are going to be missed here. So on depth, I'll say the depth, I'll give the depth on this. I'll give it a 4. I'll give the depth a 4. I don't know. It's a small tank. The depth is hard, but I'm not getting that. You know that this is far away in the back thing yet. You know. Pamba said this was escaped 3 days before taking this photo. The blocks are like $1. Oh, nice. I might need to do that. Structure, I think the structure is fantastic. Look at that piece of wood. Pause. 186 are those 88 blocks and boards. Fish quality of life. I mean, the tank's pretty small for a lot of fish, but I don't see any fish in here. So fish quality of life is getting a 0 because I don't see any fish. Plant health. Plants look fine to me. I'll give that a 5. All right. Purpose as a display. You know what? You guys know what all the different categories are. I'm going to leave these blank. I'm just going to give my out of 42 score. That's what I'm about to do. I'm going to give my out of 42 score. I'm not going to go through each one. But you can see the things that I'm judging as I go about. Fish and Jay said, where do you submit? You can submit in the Discord link and the live discussions of the photo channel in my tanks Discord. Or you can email me at inmytanks@gmail.com. But no, this is a cute little tank. I feel like anyone could be happy to have this in their room. Although, what the hell is this like water bottle? Oh, that's like the glass lily pipe thing on the left. Okay, I guess. Yeah, it's a nice tank. I'm gonna give it a 39 out of 42. What do you guys think? Put your scores in the chat. What do you rate this tank out of 42? I say 39 out of 42. You know, it still needs time to grow in and stuff. I would like to see some livestock, but Oscar said 42 points because I didn't have to do it. That's hilarious. Oscar said, I should have looked up the scoring. It's on the screen for you. Yo-Yo says 30 out of 42. Need some Anubias. Jago says 38. Maven says 35. 186 says 33. JB Jeffries says 37. Not bad. Not bad scores. Not bad. I see the scores coming in. Let me pin a message real quick where to submit photos at. Maven said it's pretty, but it needs something. Okay. Submit your tanks here. Yo-Yo said 100% Shirley. Well, Yo-Yo thinks it needs Anubias. So we've got a clear agenda from Yo-Yo here. Okay, here we go. On to the next tank. Are you guys ready? This is coming from someone that you ever kind of when you see the tanks of some people that be in the YouTube chats, and you just kind of get a hint of what their fish room is like. You're like, man, this seems like a very fascinating person. Like, what do they got going on in there? That definitely has got to be JP Jeffries for me. So here's the tank JP Jeffries submitted. It says 90-gallon Tinacore tank DIY pumice background from 2006. Pumice background is pretty cool. Now, couple cool things. This appears to be an acrylic tank. He sent a few other photos. I see it's like got an all-in-one filtering thing. Looks like he's got some like koi angels in there. Now, is this the same tank you had shell dwellers in previously, or do you just happen to have another super fancy tank of a similar a similar dimension, because this is kind of crazy. What's up, Cam Jam? How's it going? Mick said, dang, very cool. 1 second, let me make it a little bit smaller so it fits properly. My bad. Yeah, here's the actual tank. Yep. Camgen said the notifications didn't work. You know, that's another benefit of being in the Discord. Usually someone will let you know the stream starting, because YouTube is just useless. But yes, here we go. We're rating this out of 42. So 90-gallon acrylic tank. Got some pretty cool tech to it from JP Jeffries. What are you guys feeling? What are you thinking? I'm thinking it looks pretty cool. Now, most of us, I feel like we have a plant bias here. Yeah, smart person said, I feel weird seeing a freshwater tank with no plants. Yuyo said, wow, add moss to the back of the tank, 40 out of 42. I mean, I feel like the structure here is impeccable. Fish and Jay said, need some Val. I'm kind of back and forth on Val right now. I just feel like it's so hard for me to manage. It takes over the tanks quite quickly for me. Plants, even if fake, are necessary. Oh, okay. Everyone wanted plants. Now, the last time I don't know if it was the same tank, but the last time we saw a picture of this tank that was kind of similar, there were shell dwellers in it, so I gave it a pass on the no plants, because, you know, shell dwellers, they tend to dig a lot. Probably not the most conducive to plants. Let's see. Yeah, I feel weird seeing a freshwater tank, no plants. Bomba said no plants is outrageous. JP says Shelly's are in a it was a cube, 60-gallon cube. My bad. Damn. That's why I said JP just has a lot of very nice tanks. I'm not gonna lie. And this is also a pretty unique tank, I feel like. Maven said, I disagree. I've got a few hardscape only tanks. Okay. NJ says Val sells like hotcakes though, and it grows like a weed. That's true. That's very true. I need to remember which ones are the Dwarf Sage and which one's the Val, so I can like actually sell it at auctions. Camgen said no algae. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, there's barely any fish in here. I'm kind of curious. Is this what's your ultimate plan for this tank? Because there's like one, two, three, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 koi looking angels, so it seems like it's just like a grow out. But it's a very fancy, very nice tank. I definitely think we need some plants. Maybe hide some of this filtration thing here, but Chris Ladd said about half of my tanks don't have plants. I don't even know what to say. In the Flesh Aquatics, welcome to the Discord server, by the way. In the Flesh Aquatics is kind of that's a bold name. We got Lilyfish0425. Shout out to the Discord people. It's been getting a bit more active in there. It's fun. I think, well, it's also a danger too. People are starting to realize I be on Discord a lot, so they can harass me to get on stream. But you know, benefit is what it is. All right, what you guys rate this tank? I agree. It's a little bit lifeless right now. There's like 6 fish. There's some rocks. You know what I mean? Bob Bravo just put the Easter Island stone head. But I mean, it's a very impressive hardscape, very fancy. It just definitely needs something. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give it a 30. I'm gonna give it 34 out of 42, just because if I'm looking at all the categories, like, it's just the liveliness that it's missing. But I think it looks very nice objectively to me. Yoda said, I think it's great how it is. Ooh, Yoda says, great how it is. I think some green on the background hardscape would look good. Oscar's like Val 2. So we have a bit of a divide in the chat. Some people are saying we don't need plants. Other people are saying we need plants. Fish and J says 21. Bomber says 24. Overtly Oscar says 30. JP said this tank used to be full of peacocks and haps. It still has a large synodontis in it still. I'm going to plant it with CO2. Okay. I hope you're not just saying that because Bomba's here. But playing it with CO2, I'd be very curious to see what the after photo. That could be fun. I was gonna say, without knowing its purpose, it's hard to judge. A purpose is something we're supposed to evaluate on. It is on the list. What's the purpose, JP? Cam Jam said if it was Mars, it was on Mars 30. Yo, what if you said this was a moonscape tank? Then it's like a 42 out of 42. Bama says, don't waste CO2 on that tank. No offense, too much light will be needed. It looks pretty bright to me. I'm not gonna lie. It's a 90 gallon. I'm not seeing a lot of shadow in there. It's pretty bright. I was gonna say I'm changing my points to 36. Maven's asking Jose how the Ram babies are doing. Good. Jose said they're doing well. Bomba's the skate police. Jacob said that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a, what did I say? I'm changing it to whatever it was before. I'll say a 34 out of 42. So for now, the tank has no purpose. It's in limbo until he moves the catfish. Okay, so I'll say 34 out of 42. Mama said, I'm the escaping police. Every time I see a shitty escape, I let the owner know. You know that Bomba canceled the Keystone Clash? He got them completely defunded because, you know, he's the escape police. He made a call. He reported them. He reported them. He said the too many poor escapes were about to occur. Got him shut down. Isn't that crazy? Yo, if you wanted to go to the Keystone Clash, I was letting you know. You gotta hit Bomba up. Okay, guys, I see people join the Discord, so I think we'll be seeing some more tanks popping up. But in the meantime, I'm not gonna lie. Someone was asking about Anubius. So, you wanted some Anubius. I'm curious to think about what you feel on this tank. I think this is from Fish NJ, Terry Bones in the Discord. And we have an Anubius Fantasyland. But it's not actually Fantasyland. This is a reality land. But all this Anubius is real. It's in front of our faces. And I'm asking you to evaluate the tank as a whole. So let me make sure I'm zoomed out properly so you can see it all. Okay, I think we're good. We got no substrate. Okay, we got no substrate. Father Fish would not approve. We got some floating plants at the top. And besides that, it's a bunch of Anubius. Seems like most of it is on wood. Kanjan said, Bomba, I need you to judge my tank. Hey, put the picture in the Discord. JP Jeffrey said, I like it. Kanjan, Moon Rock tank. Okay, you're going to... Fish and J said, the picture quality sucks. I wish my plants looked as good, Oscar said. Baba said, looks like the least amount of effort ever. What? Where's the fish? Baba said this is just sad 0. Wait, why is this just sad 0? It at least gets some points for plant health if we're looking at the criteria guides on the side. You know what I mean? Like these Anubius look kind of nice. That's there's a lot of money in Anubius if you were to sell it for retail. Is it a propagation tank, or is this like I'm attaching Anubius to wood tank to use for my actual tanks I want to decorate? Oscar says yes, plant health at least. See, that's what I'm saying. Now I don't see any fish. That might be a fish, like sideways there. That's kind of hard to tell. Could just be a yellow. No, wait, I do see a fish. Wait. Don't tell me what it is. We got to guess what fish this is. In the Flesh Aquatic says, hello, I give it a 25. Yo, I recognized I feel like in the Flesh you had a different name before. It was like, I remember it because you're in Chicago, right? Or am I totally off? All right. I think we got 2 fish here. Let's see if we can identify. Mama said maybe a 5. Yuya says, wow, 20 out of 42. I don't do Discord. You can email me at inmytanks@gmail.com. stock tank. Okay, we got a 25, we got a 20 F42. Yuya said, has potential. They should take inspiration from the previous tank, and the previous tank needs inspiration from this tank. I like that. We can combine. One was missing plants, and this is missing, I guess, what the other one has. Camgen said, Anubius grows slow, so I give it a 20. Fishing J said, I was breeding 5 L519s and L183s in here. They always hid, though. And a few platies. 186 guessed there was a Priscilla Tetra. JP says, does it need some nitrogen? And in the flesh said, yes. Joven, yeah. I got it. Maybe says 25. Oscar says, chat is mean. Don't show my pics. It's all in good fun, Oscars. If you really don't want me to show your pics, then I won't. But I encourage people not to take this too seriously. We're just all having to, messing around. Put in chat if you're being serious. I know Bomba's gonna say he's being serious because he's just an asshole, but we're all just messing around. Maybe it's I'll say the same thing. Real Baba said, I'm not being chat isn't mean, it's real. Oh, come on, man. Listen. Oh, sheesh. In the Flesh Aquatics got a 20 long coming in. And I feel like it's got combinations of everything that people have said they wanted so far. There's actually a lot of interesting. There's a lot of interesting things going on with this picture. Actually, like, let me put it on the screen. This is kind of crazy. So this is from In the Flesh Aquatics. Shout out to In the Flesh Aquatics in the chat. Maybe Sabine reading for no reason. It's asshole behavior. I think that person should rethink their lives. Holy. Maybe it's got people reconsidering their existence right now. Okay. So there's a few things going on with this tank that I think is very interesting. First of all, my first impression is positive because I'm like, okay, we got bright, we got green, we got some structure here. You know what I mean? Oh, Oscar's already said I like this tank, 35. But there's some other details here that I think deserve attention before we even get to rating this. First of all, we got a little Lilo and Stitch in the front. Cute little figurine. Second thing, look at this handle for the lid. I don't know. It just caught my attention immediately. I'm like, this is a much nicer looking ergonomic handle. It's not just like the slab. Oh, last tank, not this one? Okay, my bad. It's not like the usual just blank slab of plastic that is typically on the top of lid. So I immediately was like, yo, that's a nice lid. Then the other thing I'm noticing, this is a very, at least it seems to be, a very over-filtered tank, which I'm thinking might be for seeding for other tanks. We got 2 sponge filters, and then this looks like maybe it's some kind of small internal or hang on the back Aquion 20. And I see one fish. I see one albino Cory that's over in the corner. There's a lot of utility things happening in this tank right now. A smart person said, interesting. Yep. Maven said, hey, you skipped my tank, I think. I thought you said you didn't want me to show it, Maven. Unless I misread. But I'm not necessarily going in order either, so I will show your tank, don't worry. The amount of clean is worrisome. What? I like how clean it looks. I think it looks nice. Bags of media in the corners just chilling. Maven said I was joking. Retribution. Okay. Yu-Yo said constructive criticism is what they're looking for, not hurtful words. Listen. I merely read the chat. Everyone should be as nice as they're capable of, but if you submit a photo of your tank, we're probably going to generally be pretty nice. But if someone says something mean, don't worry about it. I'll show one of my ugly tanks. I got a lot of pretty bad ones. I'm not going to lie. All right, what are we guys feeling? What are you guys feeling on rating this tank? Camgen said, I sent you an email, Nick. I need Bomba's advice. In the Flesh said, yeah, it's for seeding. Got 4 other tanks. So In the Flesh, let us know, what's the purpose of this tank? Because right now it seems like this might be a breeding setup or something. but I really like it because it's very clean, and I appreciate tanks that have a utility but aren't like, full of. Most of my quote unquote utility tanks are kind of hideous, so I enjoy the very over filtered, not much duckweed in sight. I don't even think that's duckweed. That might just be a cutting of another plant. And this tank looks ready to go to just seed things. Now we might need some more bio load, honestly, if you're trying to seed a bunch of sponge filters. I don't know how many fish you have. We see one albino cory. You might want to put some more fish in here if that's the purpose. But yeah, I don't even mind I don't think this is a real log. Like, I don't know. Everything seems to be coming together for me. I give this a 36. For utility tank, to me, this is very nice. Diana Roach said nice. Okay. Oscar said it's beautiful. Flesh said it's a rescue cory, going to get more. Okay. Bomba's given a 20 at 25. I said 36. That's what I said. I said 36. Let me update that real quick. Because I can appreciate a good old. And he says he's going to put some more cories in there. He's got a rescue cory. What's not to like? Oscar says rescue tank 38. Oh, okay. We got a 38. Let's go. Chris Ladd said, I just put a rocker stick in the middle and call it done. Well, didn't you say half your tanks don't have any plants in them at all? So we're going to need to see. We're going to need to see a picture. Bob says Stitch bumps up the score. Well, what does it bump up the score to then for you? Yeah, you could breed all sorts of things in this. I mean, a 20 long, there's lots of dwarf cichlids you could do. You could do the cories. Cories are nice. I think they're a lot of fun. Jared said, I don't have any recent pictures of my tank, but I did post a short video of them the other day. Okay. Yuyo said the Stitch is legendary. Oh, the Stitch has to be worth at least $8. Sorry, 8 points. Bomba said cories and aqua soil. Why not? JP says 34. Let's go. We're getting some good scores up in here for this one. Mick says crisp and clean. McCall says that no pics for me, only short vids in the photo section to show. I actually have some tanks on. Okay. I'll do the videos all at once because I'll have to change how I'm sharing. Flesh said, thanks. I got Monte Carlo in the corner, but not taking off. The tank is only a month old. So, I mean, potentially the after photo of this could be pretty cool once we get a nice Monte Carlo carpet across. I know Bomba's like, I don't know. Looks like it's going to be good to me, though. Evenly lit. I like all the filtration. I want more of my tanks to look like this. Overtly Oscar says crisp and clean. Perfect description. Bomba said that shit not going to grow. Not enough light. Well, we're going to find out. It looks like a plenty of light to me. Stitch was a plus. Yo. I love these kind of streams with Bomba in the chat, bro. Okay, listen. We have a request. We have a request from Oscars in the chat who says can't overfiltrate tanks. Now, Bomba's I could put money on it, but bump the light up as much as you can. Try and balance it out. Okay, there we go. So there's some more constructive comment. I said that's some more constructive combat, bro. I'm starting to take this aquascaping too seriously. So we have a request for Bomba to help someone with the review. Oscars has submitted a tank. Bomba, let's see how you can do with constructive criticism, okay, on this one. We're all watching you carefully. So here's the take from overtly overstocked Oscars. Thank you for to In the Flesh Aquatics for submitting that last one. In the Flesh said that appreciate everyone. I'll keep you up to date. Yeah, please let us know. That's gonna be cool to see how that grows out. Sorry, not Oscars. My bad. It's Cam Jams. Yo, Cam Jam even sent me an email and I still got the name wrong. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, bro. Okay, this is from Cam Jam. Thank you, man. I know. Listen, I know the chat's delayed. Okay, the chat's delayed. Now. This is from Cam Jam. Thank you, ma'am. It says 1 honey gourami, 6 strawberry raspberries, 3 black bar endlers, 10-gallon. Jacob said, I know it's her because the sticker. Okay, so this is the first famous tank that we have. It's already known in the chat. So thank you to Cam for submitting this. I'll just correct myself again. Thank you to Cam Jam. Thank you, man. 22 for submitting this. KMJAMTHANKYOUMAAM 22. I can read. Yurio says more substrate in the background. 28 out of 42. Bomba says 42 out of 42 for the Elite Menagerie Habitat sticker. JP Jeffrey says 36. Oscar says Cam, excellent looking plants. That's what I'm saying. The Anubias looks quite good. I mean, you know, most Anubias got a little bit of something on the leaves. Like, you look close enough. Like, a lot of this is looking very nice. I'm not gonna lie. The plant health is coming through. Now, we've gone over some tanks with stickers on them in the past. This is a better sticker choice than most, but the thought of having a sticker on the front of my tank personally is difficult for me. But we got I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me right behind the tank. Now, is this for motivation for you or like the fish? Like, I'm kind of curious. Like, is this like I'm gonna aquascape this, or you got the fish? It's struggling. It can barely swim, and you put the sticker there so it can get some, inspiration. Hit the prayer real quick. Shout out to J-Man. Overtly Oscar said the post-it seals it. 40. Baba said definitely for the fish. Jago said, Cam, I think it looks great. Cam Jam said I got pink construction paper background. I do like the background. The pink construction paper is nice. Is it 36 for this one, JP? I think it was. I fight brown algae. When keeping small tanks, I prefer having no pumps or filters. Mick, what do you mean you prefer no pumps or filters? Whoa, 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 whoa. Do we have a Team Swamp Tank member in the chat? Oh my gosh, Mick. Let me guess, no water changes too? No, I'm joking. Mama says, bigger Nubius is tough to make look small and create depth. I'd trade out for Nana Petite. Something you could do right now is trim the stem plants and replant them. Ooh, maintenance. So we got some 40 or 36. Mix that I struggle. I do 10% water changes every day. Oh, shit. Jacob said some choya wood, some dragonstone would contrast really well with the greenery. In the Flesh Aquatic says, looks good. I give it a 32. Let us know what you guys think of this tank in the chat. Big Steve in the chat. Let's go. Mr. Big Steve, hottest up-and-coming hobbyist breeder in the United States and the best breeder of Nanochromis transvestitis in the world. Also, People's Choice at the Clash last year for aquascaping. I believe he's the most decorated aquascaper in the chat right now when it comes to competitions. So, shout out to Big Steve. He's probably the most qualified to judge a tank, I'm not going to lie. As Bomba said, Big Steve, submit your best tank. Let's go tank for tank. Garda Eater said, oof. What's up, Garda Eater? Shout out to you guys. It's 10 gallons, Mick. This is a 10 gallon? Now, hold up. This could change the entire rating. I thought this was a 20 high. Big shrimping, you mean? Big shrimping, baby. Yo, that's kind of crazy. I have some Garden of Eden shrimp right now, actually, because I think I got some ocean blues from Jesse, Just One More Fish, and I think he got them from Garden of Eden. So, and they just had a bunch of little shrimp babies. So, I mean, we're real repping big shrimping up in here. Bomba said Big Steve has baby squids. Wait, what? Is that a joke? Is that real? Every time I like go back and check, Big Steve has bred another crazy thing. Mick said, did I just hear the biggest trans in the world? Sorry, Steve. I just had to. No, the best breeder of Nanochromis transvestitis in the world. Garveter said he did. Oh, there we go. I need some more isopod types. Yo, there's some some people in my Discord have been showing me some different species, and I think some of the Eustrarian ones, like, I know you were talking about one that you caught. I feel like it was probably one of those, like the ones that kind of go between freshwater and saltwater, whatever. Those might be some good things to look at because they kind of look cool. But I'm working on getting my colony of Brachyurus big enough. It's these bigger round guys. So I'm trying to get a few different types going as well. I had a big colony of Brachyurus, and then I completely slaughtered all of them by accident. And luckily I split my culture with a friend, and he had them going. So those and the Sasiodota. But yeah, I'm hoping this year we get some more of the colors. Have you seen the calico ones the Aquapods LLC have? You should get those. This is the pod father. He's got a cool little calico morph. So they're kind of like clear, but then have the gold highlights. Garden Viewer said, I thought you had like 4 freshwater types going. I guess technically, yeah. But in large numbers, 2, maybe. What's up, Big Steve? Oh, Big Steve, you submitted a tank? Big Steve has a baby cuttlefish. Like, you bought one or you bred it? Because, come on. But yeah, the calico ones are pretty cool. If you go back on Reddit, like, this is the same guy that was selling the black ones on Reddit a bit ago. I feel like the high yellows are the easiest for people to breed in. I've seen some approaching red orangish, but like, I mean, the problem is most of them, until they get larger or like older or whatever, like, they're not really big enough. Like, the color's got to be pretty stand out for you to notice it, because a lot of them do. And it's funny when I look up aquatic isopods. Freshwater aquatic isopod. Let me see. A lot of them do have like some gold speckling on them, you know, like it's there, but you just don't really see it unless it's up close. You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing with some of these higher yellow morphs that people are working on. It's like until you get it a certain saturation point. But what do I know? I barely even bred stuff. Okay. I hatched it. You hatched a baby cuttlefish. I'm getting so distracted, guys, from the tanks. Have you posted a video of this yet? Baby cuttlefish. Hold up. Steve, what is going on here? 1 second. Baby cuttlefish. Bro. There's too many side missions going on right now with Big Steve. Jacob said those calico morphs look insane. Yeah, I think they look pretty cool. I don't know why I haven't bought them yet. I should buy them and breed them. What the hell? Let's make it 5 freshwater isopod types. Holy. Yuya said, what the hell? Where'd you get a baby cuttlefish from? That's what I'm saying, man. I don't really understand. I came here to rate tanks, and now I'm finding out people just hatching out cuttlefish. Okay, I'm gonna give my rating for this tank. Don't take this personally, Cam Jam. Don't take this personally. It's the stickers. I just can't personally. The stickers just drive me crazy. So I'm gonna give it a 28 out of 42. All right. I'm not gonna go too low, but I can't. I have to be true to myself. But if you didn't already put your ratings on this tank in the chat, throw them down there. But I did see a decent amount of people like it. We got a 40, we got a 32, we got a 36. Can Jeb said not bad. Bomba over here talking about Anubius. I think they sell the at PetSmart. Oh man. Oh man. Jacob says 39. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Let's freaking do it. Okay, I see we got some more tanks submitted. Keep submitting the tanks, man. Keep submitting the tanks. Now again, I'm not entirely going in order. We have a tank off. Okay? We have a tank off. Bomba wants to go tank for tank with Big Steve. Big Steve sent a tank. Now I think the strategy here is that Big Steve sent a tank that Bomba is not capable of reproducing right now. We have not seen this kind of escaping from Bomba before, so I think going tank for tank, it's going to be up to us to have the discernment, to have the judgment to determine the proper winner. So coming in from Big Steve, we have a saltwater tank. This might be the first saltwater submission in a long time, if ever, perhaps. Now, it was kind of teased with the baby cuttlefish. But we got a saltwater escape here. We have a wave maker. We've got coral. Come on. What do you guys think? I'm gonna do some zooming in. We'll get a closer look. But first thoughts? Beto says, what's up? Lurking. Okay, Camjan says 43 already. Wow, 43 out the gate. Yo, we got some people saying, ew, saltwater. Yo, Obama might win just because everyone is picking a side. Look at the coral. It's so green. Excuse me. Oh, my gosh. That's terrible. Oh, we got this coral over here. That coral looks cool. That looks fire. Oh, yeah. We got the wave maker. The rock structure is super nice. In the Flesh said freshwater is the best water. Oh, my God. Get your T-shirts out of here. Bama said, Steve, send in an aquascape. Don't be scared. Baba said, send in a salty take thinking you could get away with it. I like how the salty take looks cool. Although, I didn't expect... Yo, Steve, I'm not gonna lie. Everyone's acting mad like they're gang members right now, okay? They're like, oh, if it's freshwater, it's not welcome in this neighborhood. Like, this is kind of crazy. Glowfish vibes, JP says. Well, is this where the baby cuttlefish is or where it's going? Because let me evaluate the fucking life. Yo, in the Flesh says, I don't even want to rate it. Oh, my God. You guys are so dramatic. You put salt and water and suddenly... Now, there's some interesting snails. I'm seeing a lot of snails. Do snails ever negatively affect coral? Is that a thing? We got a 42 from Jacob. We got a 42 out of 43. A 30 out of 42. JP says negative 36. Come on, man. I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree with the... Wait, Bomba says 38 just for the hardscape. Okay, hold up. Bomba's showing love. Mick says 42. 2 perfect scores. There's no way this could be favoritism. All right, I'm gonna give it a 32 out of 42 because the coral need to grow in. The coral need to grow in for me. I only understand saltwater if there's coral. Also, we got a glass scraper. I don't want to see the glass scraper in the. Let me just make up a random thing to say. But no, this is really cool. I mean, it's gonna be annoying if Big Steve also does very well in freshwater. I'm sorry, in saltwater. In the Flesh says, honestly, I give it a 28. Okay, we got a rating out of you, though. That's better than refusing to rate it just because of saltwater. Bama asks, what is the tank dimension? JP says, why is it all blue and purple? I think that's like a saltwater light spectrum thing. You know what I mean? They do different lights. Guys, let's not expose ourselves for how little we know about other fish keepers' culture. I mean, like, I just, those saltwater people and their blue and purple lights, I just don't get it. Come on, man. All right, what do you guys think? Any more ratings for Big Steve's tank? Mick says, people asking what color about the color of the lights. Big Steve says, what color is the ocean? I'll leave that to the chat. Chat, what color is the ocean? If you've seen it, let us know. Obama said, your hero's lights work for macro tanks. From what I've seen, I've been contemplating. JP says the ocean's clear. I don't know about that. Kanjan said it looks clean. Some saltwater tanks look real murky and cloudy. Ooh. A clean tank from Big Steve. All right. We'll come up to one of Bomba's. And remember how this looks? Because we got to compare Bomba's against it. Unless Big Steve sends another one. Steve says, pretty sure Columbus soared the ocean blue. All right. Well, listen. Columbus did not sail all that way to commit genocide just to forget the color of the ocean he sailed over it on. So I feel like we got a checkmate there. If anyone said that the ocean was anything except for blue, JP is now conceding various shades of blue, I guess. In the flesh, a technicist. It depends on the day, time of day, what color the ocean is. Oh my goodness. Well, we got another tank coming in here. This is from someone that has not been shown tonight already. And I think people have been asking for more plants. This tank delivers on plants all day long. So, without further ado, get your opinions ready, because we have a submission from dun, 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 Fishcapades. Wait, it should be on the screen. Fishcapades. Now, this is a vertical photo, so we're going to have to do a bit more zooming shenanigans here. But what the vertical does do is capture all the plants that are growing up above the tank. A quite impressive array of plants are growing in this thing. So, what do you guys think? First impressions. Oops. First impressions. "42 out of 42, Yu-Yo says, shit, that is amazing. Camgen already saying 41. Diana Roach is saying the color of the ocean also depends on the weather. Oh my gosh, bro. What's the point? What's the point of an ocean if it can't even stay a consistent color? I'm so disappointed right now. Not bad for something you could grow in a bucket, that Steve says. 41, Mick says, lacking a sticker. Shut up, Mick. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. 39, JP says. Gorgeous plant on the wall, Cam Jam says. I'm bringing back the black background, sorry. No, this is a great submission. Let's take a closer look here, cuz I'm not going to lie. The plants above do a lot of heavy lifting as far as like immediate impact. It's hard to even get to the tank cuz you're like, "Oh my gosh, look at all of that growth above the thing. Like, it looks so good." But like, I want to make sure I'm giving the tank itself a proper evaluation. Big Steve said, I love the plants up top. Yeah, I think it looks very nice. So the angel this looks like a very blue, very fancy, fat, and happy angel. That's kind of cool. This is a 40 breeder. We got a nice valve on each side. A little bit of a framing here is nice. There's all sorts of tiny plants in the back, so we get that depth, right? Different sized leaf plants, the big Anubias, the small Anubias. I mean, I feel like Bomba's got to be happy with that, right? Let me see if I can make it. is that a lily, like a red tiger lotus type thing? Like, it's looking very nice. Look at all that. Are you having to trim that a bunch to keep it contained? Because that's pretty cool. Alone. Okay. I mean, shit. I'm impressed. There's not a lot to dislike about this tank. I'm not gonna lie. It's just very pretty. Maybe the front is a little bit bare. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It just kind of looks like it could grow in. I don't know what grass plant this is, but it looks like maybe that was recently planted, so perhaps it's about to start growing in there. But I mean, the growth above is nuts, and the growth within is delicious. So I gotta give this gotta be a big 4-0. I'm giving this a 40. Okay, this is a damn good looking tank. Finally, someone stepped up their game around here. I'm joking. In the Flesh says, it looks like a seasoned tank. I give it a 38. Camgen says, gorgeous angels. The plants make it look bigger. Jacob said, I like the Lotus. I have one that's making babies every week. Nice. Bomba says 35. Fish Cape says it's a no trimming, really low effort tank. No CO2. I mean, the plants are looking fantastic. Bomba says lacks foreground. Jacob says 40 as well. Mick says the thing is for scapers, a tank without structured sections is bad. Me, I love when plants can give shelter for fish and fry. Fish Cape says, Baba, you're just jealous. I don't need CO2. In the Flesh says it needs more fish. I mean, it's kind of got big fish. So I guess I understand. There's actually a third angelfish in there. I'm just now noticing. I like the Bomba clap. That is a good. Now, this is a very nice tank. Thank you for submitting this, Shirley. If you want to submit your tank, you got the link pinned. Or you can email me at inmytanks@gmail.com. If you email me, though, just let me know that you emailed me, because I don't check my email midstream, like, passively. You know what I mean? You got to jump in there. You said, wait, if you add some substrate on top of the fertile substrate, would it look nicer? I don't know. I think I like the black. Bamba said, you can't pay me to go low tech. What can we pay you to do? Clearly not shut the hell up. No, I'm joking. No, you can only pay Bamba to do high class, high tech, professional aquascapes. That's the word. All right, you heard it here first. So let's look at our. But Steve said, but $20 is $20, right, Bamba? Good point. What would you do for $20, chat? All right, this is a bit of a different tank, a different dimension than we've seen so far, a different kind of plant emphasis than we've seen so far. It's described as a utility tank hiding in my pantry for keeping cold shrimp and scuds. I present to you a rimless cube tank from Smart Person. Dun, 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 dun. And now it's on the screen. Feast your eyes. Big Steve said -42 scud tax. Look, for the purposes of this review, I'm going to have to try and just ignore the scud aspect. I'm going to try and ignore the scud aspect. Oh my god, Ada, yes. What? What is it? I see you. Sorry, the cat is... I see you. Ada, you want to jump up? You can come up here. Big jump. Everyone say hi to Ada the cat. She says, what have you been doing? It's time to go to sleep. Oh no, I need my attention. No. Stop raiding the tanks. She says, stop raiding the tanks. Oh my goodness. Ada the cat is here. Fish NJ says low iron also. JP says water lettuce root take. Yurio said someone say $20 give me. And Cam Jen said about the previous tank that it was beautiful. This is beautiful. Perfect tank for keeping and growing out shrimps. Imported cat. Nah, that's a Petco tank. What? Nah, this is low iron rimless ADA, man. Don't be mad. I think it's signed by Takashi Amano. So, what do you guys think of the Scud tank? Fish and J says that. What is the tank for? It's for coal, shrimp, and scuds. That is what the described purpose is. Cold, shrimp, and scuds. I know. Inspiring. The tank's imported from Japan. Now let me talk about what I like about this tank. First of all, coal, shrimp, and scud tank. I mean, it's pretty nice for that purpose. The scuds will probably be happy in here, and the shrimp will probably be happy in here. You know what I mean? We got a tastefully laid cholla wood from the front right corner to the back corner. You know, nice direction, nice flow, nice depth. We got some tastefully laid stones in the front. I don't know what this little... I think that's just seeing the basket through the glass. I don't know what that is. What is this? Pearl weed. A pearl weed. Perhaps it could be a carpet if there you know, there wasn't a billion water lettuce above. The water lettuce is killing everything in its path. Even the duckweed is being forced underwater. So water lettuce climbs on top. But there's almost nothing. Honestly, when I had water lettuce, it went so crazy. There's so many fish you could breed tons of in a water lettuce tank. It's just, it wasn't that enjoyable to have a water lettuce tank because I couldn't see anything. But if I have scuds and coal shrimp, you know, shrimp that are so ugly that I got to banish them to a scud cubed prison, then I don't want to see anything in it. So it's actually perfect. So for the purpose of a scud shrimp coal tank, I mean, we got some hardscape in here. It's planted. You know, could use a little bit more water perhaps, but you know, I'm giving it a 32 with the purpose in mind. You know what I mean? I'm giving it a 32 if I'm being fair. If I'm including the scuds in my rating, it's getting a 5. Steve said, Takashi escaped in that tank at 84. I'll cover shipping. Fish NJ said, can we export Bamba? Bamba's out with Big Steve. Oh, you'll guys buy this tank? Jose said, good night, all early rise. JP said, audio. Audio should be good. 20, Cam Jan says, Scud tax. What do you guys think? Bring in the ratings for this Scud ugly coal banished shrimp paradise. Yuyo said, add white sand, change out the white rock for lava rock. Oh, we're investing lava rock into this? 30 out of 32 and take out some of the floating plants. Jacob said 33. Steve said 32. Bomba said if Amano escaped it at 84, I'm paying shipping 100%. But if Amano escaped a tank in 84, like, wouldn't it functionally be a totally different tank by now? Because it's been maintained by different people. And you know, I mean, there's no way it'd be the same. It'd be functionally like he never escaped it. Just my opinion, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, we got 32, 33, 20 with the scud tax, 26 to JP. What do you guys think? Yo, In the Flesh Aquatics, it's freshwater. I know you got a rating for this. This isn't ADA, smart person said. This is UNS for what it's worth. Oh, UNS! The superior brand to ADA. Much more affordable, but still premium. I'm bumping my rating up to 36 after that info. Oh, 45 degree mitered low iron. Yep, 36 out of 42 now. Steve says Bomba wants to sniff the glass. Hilarious. In the Flesh Aquatic said, I give it a 28. It looks like it would stink up the room. Oh my god. He said it looks like it produces a foul odor. I don't think it's gonna stink up the room. Oh my goodness, man. That's pretty funny. Oh shit. Okay. I gotta get through all the freaking tanks, man. Okay, I'm gonna do Shirley's after this one, but I have to. Is this AI? Fish and Jay sent in another one. This is kind of crazy, guys. Can you guys be honest? I need your honest opinion on this one. Seriously, okay? We need the honest opinions here. Bomba said, "Where's Big Steve's freshwater tank?" It won the People's Choice Award at the Clash. Where's your awarded tank, Bomba? I haven't seen you compete in anything. You had to shut down the Clash just so you couldn't have to go compete and embarrass yourself against a Big Stevioso. All right, here we go. It's a tank. The only tank that Fish NJ runs on CO2. It's a desk aquarium and only has Caridina. All right. I would like to welcome you all to a submission from Fish NJ. Feast your eyes in 3, in 2, in 1. Boom. The desk Caridina tank. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how old this tank is, but I feel like there's a lot of things that Bomba should be happy about. It's CO2. It's a desk tank, rimless. Man, I'm taking it all in. Give me your impressions in the chat. Let's see. What are you guys feeling? Steve said, "I don't have any freshwater tanks. I can show everything as breeder boxes or some shit hanging off of it." Yeah, Steve's a real fishmonger. You know what I mean? I get that, Steve. I get that. Camjan said, "What the WTF? 42." JP says 41.25. What's this 0.75 off of it? Fish NJ said, "I sent another pic of it too. It's a curved tank." Mick says 41, no sticker. Oh, Steve says 42 right off the bat. Wow, people are rocking with this one. People are rocking with this one for real. We got a picture that shows a bit of the little shrimp. This looks like some fancy Caridina to me. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. So, let's see. We got a nice little crypt up here. Is this Monte Carlo, the Carpedian clan? I see the Caridina. Aqua soil. We got the F-Zone style CO2 diffuser. Okay, I got that over here. What kind of moss is this? Is this a fist? What moss is this? The moss looks great. Was that Pastegamin or something? We got a heater. We got a filter. A little bit of duckweed. Tasteful amount of giant duckweed on top. Yeah, this is a very nice tank. I'm going to give it a 40. I'm going to have to give it a 41. I have to give it a 41. It'll get a 42 when the shrimp population grows. That's what I have to hold back. But, I mean, the hardscape's cool. It's got a slope up to the back. You know, it's higher in the back. Like I see Cam Jam saying, there's depth. Indeed, there's depth. Smart person said, even if most of the plants are green, it has diversity in the shades of green too. Fire emoji. The pinks and browns stand out in the places where they're used. Cam Jam said, plants look great. Mick is wild for saying you're taking a point off for no sticker. Kanjan said gorgeous. Bamba said, I don't even know. Bamba says looks really good. 42. What? Yo, this is crazy. Can someone call 911? We need a wellness check right now. We need a wellness check, bro. Bamba gave something a 42. I mean, it is. I got nothing really bad to say about it. I mean, okay. Realistically, you want me to get into my roast mode? All right. We got to talk about this temperature indicator, man. Am I trying to see how hot the fish tank is or if I have a fever? Because this look like I got to stick it under my tongue or something. I need something more high-tech on a CO2 tank like this. Okay? That's what I'm going to put my hill on to die for nitpicking on this beautiful tank. You're going to put all this work into it and then put a damn... What's inside of this? Mercury or something? I don't even know. Come on, man. We got the digital like pH meter on the side here. What's the problem? We got the glass Martin. We got the shrimp dinner on the side. The budget is being spent. But when it came to the temperature indicator, we have a suction cup on the front. I can't accept this. I'm still giving it a 41. Actually, no. I'm giving it a 40.9. Baba said, this is something I love to see on my desk. Only thing for me is the filter and the heater. Awase Thermo 100, that's perfect. I'd like to zoom in, Steve said. Where do you want me to zoom in particular? I thought I did zoom in earlier, but it might have been on the wrong thing. You can see some of the shrimp here. Moss will be a pain to trim. Holy. Dragon State not facing the same way if you want to be picky, but it looks natural. Cam Jenny says he cares about temperature. I respect it. Let's go. Oh, in the flesh said nice. 42. I wish I had their pockets. Just start robbing people, man. Come on. Yo, you got to rob JP. Just steal one of his tanks. He's got too many nice tanks. He won't miss it. JP Jeffries said it's a 41.25, negative 0.75 for misarrangement of plants. You need to tell me how they're misarranged and why it barely matters. JP says plants all look great, but they're misarranged too randomly. Bama said the equipment is lacking, but otherwise, yeah, he gave it a 42 already. Let's run off with it. Man. Okay, any other thoughts on this tank? I mean, I feel pretty happy. Is this just normal airline to the CO2 diffuser, though? Why are you supposed to... I feel like it's supposed to be... Oh, you know what? It probably turns this color over time or something like that, right? Never mind. Ignore me. Plants look in the right place where you're talking about. Obama defending the plant placement. Let's go. Let's go. All right. This is a picture of the tank when it just got started. Wow. That does look a lot different. And then this is more close-up of a shrimp. Looks like a very fancy shrimp. Okay. Next tank. We got a tank coming in here from Shirley. Moneyless Maven. This is a rescape tank of one we've rated in the past. Okay, and I do see there's some arrangement thought being put into this. Excuse me. So, without further ado, submission from Moneyless Maven appearing on your screen in 3, in 2. I lied. Here it is. Dun 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 dun. It's like, you know, like the corporate like meeting videos where they go to the conference and they play just like some 2012 pop hit. Radioactive, radioactive. Bama said, who had that last tank again? That was Fish NJ in the chat. And Terry Bones in the Discord. Smart person said, I want big fish in these tanks with big plants, but the scale is to make the fish look small, I feel like, most of the time. So they you know? Nick said the last tank was fun to look at. Yep. Root to the left looks like a lizard. Very cool. Yes, what's your first impressions? Now, this is actually, out of all the tanks we reviewed tonight, there's something that made a first impression on me that none of the other tanks had the same first impression, which I noticed the fish immediately, because this is a very fun fish that I would like to have like 20 of in a tank eventually. Just a rosy loach. If you haven't had rosy loaches, they're very fun. They're very fun to watch. So I recommend. And it looks like I got a good amount. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 perhaps. Unless, I think these are albino pygmy cories perhaps, actually. And then this looks like, I don't know what this is. At least killifish? Actually, I have no idea. Well, okay. Let me zoom back out. What do you guys think of this tank? Let's get the ratings coming in. Now, there's a good amount of depth that I'm seeing here coming in with the structure of this. Like, I'm a big left to right person, so I like the big pile of stuff over here up close in the front. On the right, you know, it kind of goes to the back right corner. So I'm a big fan of this hardscape arrangement. It is satisfying to me. Then in the very back, we have the center sword plant. I'm into it. You know, I really can't complain about that. Definitely feel like I could use some, you know, some stems in the corners, maybe covering the sponge filter or whatnot. But I mean, this is looking like a solid structure here. Now we do need the purpose of this tank. Kind of curious what that is. Oh, I see some nice sized little cherry shrimp over there too. Because honestly, there's a lot of space in here. There's a bunch of small fish and stuff. So we got a breeder box up here. Looks like with an air stone in it. So that's why I asked about the purpose of it. But yeah, I believe in this tank. I think we get some stuff growing. Vacuum some of this debris out, maybe just a little bit. Perhaps a carpet of something in these corners could be kind of nice, but I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. Looks better than a lot of the tanks that I have. Let me see what you guys are saying. Cam Jam says 37. JP says very natural looking, 37.5. Mix is guessing Boreras Europhthalmoides. You said natural sand. On top, I like the algae on the smooth rocks. I don't really like the snails. You can get them out with a cucumber. The floating plants are cool. And plants look healthy. 30 out of 42. Well done. You said the small snails. I mean, if you didn't put them in on purpose. Okay. The red shrimps looked like a RoboCop eyes on a lizard root. Awesome. That was what Mick said. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with... I agree with you, Rio. I think 30 out of 42. I agree. I think it's got... I think there's some growing in to be done. But I really like the hardscape arrangement myself. So I feel like it's going in the right direction. My brain just like slipped 5 times. I don't know what's going on. All right, let me see. Shout out to Shirley for submitting that one. Let's see if there's any other tanks you guys submitted that I missed. Here it says 4:20 a.m. My typing is terrible. Give me a break. In the Flesh gave this one a 35. Let's go. What size tank is this, by the way? Is this a 20 or is it a 4D? I feel like it's got to be a 20 long, right? Rimless. Only Oscars sent some photos, but like, it's not really of a tank. Like, Oscar sent like a close photo of like, I can't tell if we're being trolled. It's like no offense, very algae covered, possibly dying plants. But then there's some very nice looking and cute Amazon puffers in the next photo. And a baby pleco. There's not like a zoomed out tank photo, but we do have some nice puffer fish. Papa sent me an aerial photo of a tank. What am I supposed to do with an aerial photo? All right. Let me show the videos that people sent. So I'm going to change my sharing method so I can show you guys the videos that were sent in. If you guys still want to send in some tanks and you haven't already, now's the time. Cam Jen said 42 on the pea puffers. Garden Eater said, I'm done bagging up moss. I'm crashing. Have a good night, everyone. Hey, shout out to Garden Eater. Appreciate you stopping by. Glad you got the moss bagged. Hopefully, I'll make it out to Aquaculture. I think Garden Eater's going to all the Aquacultures and doing the shrimp competition. Because I really want to go and take some photos. That's what I want to do. I want to take my camera, my macro lens, and take some photos of some fancy competition shrimp. So, we'll see. Yurio said, too much nutrients or too much light. Fix that, it'll look great. 25 out of 42 can't see the tank. Hey, not being able to see a tank, still getting a 25 is pretty good. Vic said, peace sign, Garden of Eater. Let's go. Okay, let's see if I can get into this LFS plant tank video Mick sent. And I feel like, Mick, there's not enough explanation with this. Because... And we're going in the Discord now, okay? So no one, don't send me anything crazy. You know what I mean? I'm going to expose myself with all my secrets on Discord. But Mick sent this video of a planted tank at an LFS, and I just... Bro. This LFS looks kind of fire. Like, in the left corner, you see a bunch of awesome-looking tanks. Then he's showing us the one that just got a bunch of plants in pots. But like, we're not necessarily rating this because look at the red root floaters. First of all, I don't know why more stores don't do this because red root floaters are like expensive. You know what I mean? You could grow them yourself. Look, I just think it's really cool. It's got all red roots. They're growing across. They got like bright lights. So the plants below still getting some light. But look at the tanks on the left. Mick, what kind of fancy-ass LFS do you have? This looks like a fish showroom. Like, are you sure this isn't, like, AI? You said definitely trolling us. JP said, dang, those look fake. That's what I was saying. If it wasn't Mick that sent it, I would think that it was fake. Mick said, I wanted to share no pumps filters, just saying only pumps for CO2 in the planted. No pumps or filters? How are they doing water changes? Because honestly, if you're a store and you have an auto water change system, I could see you getting away with this no pump, no filter lifestyle. But I think I would do just air for some small tanks for fry. But I've never seen an LFS that looks this nice. As far as those tanks on the left look crazy. Mick says, water change every 6 months. We got the father fish store. Holy. You always said those fish are going to be super expensive. Look how nice the tanks are. Sometimes I think, like, if I won the lottery, I daydream. This is how I know manifestation is, like, not real. Because if I won the lottery... I think about it all the time. If manifestation was real, I would have won it by now. But, suddenly it's like, what do I do? Well, I just, like, invest in fish keeping. One possible outcome is, you just make a super nice store where the initial investment probably makes no sense because everything's so expensive. But, like, you won the lottery, so who cares? And then you just have, like, the nicest store ever, with all rimless tanks. And you're just basically running it for fun, Mick said, nice you say, look at the fronts. He's not ready with anything. Styrofoam's visible, etc. So, is he actually selling anything? Bama said, 88 light on the plant tank. This is a 42. Wait, is there really an 88 light on the plant stock tank? Is that what these are? Because that seems very expensive for it to look this shit. Like... I'm not saying, like, bro, it's just holding potted plants. So what else is it supposed to look like? But, I mean, it doesn't look like a cheap light. I won't say that. Mama said, never mind, bad angle. Okay, let's look at some of the other videos. Okay. This is another video from Mick. Why is it so small, Mick? Pause. But seriously, I can't even see this. It says a pistogramma banshee. I do see a pisto up in the left corner. Can't see much of the tank. The light is bleeding out a lot of it. but I do see a nice amount of plants that looks like is in there. Mick said Arcadia lamps, 750 watts each, I believe. Arcadia lamps. How much are those? I don't even know. 750 watts. Sounds like a lot to me. Okay. Does it just have this pair of epistles in there, Mick? That's a lot of plants and a lot of space. Now I want to see more of Mick's stuff. I know. Better if watching in Discord, I hope. Yeah, I don't know why it's... I do definitely see that looks like a female on the bottom left. Perhaps. And it does look like a very nice, healthy plant. I'm seeing a bunch of algae, but I can't quite tell enough to really rate through it. But I'm very curious to see what mixed plants look like. It says Sesquitertang plus Postegamon erectus. Okay. Bomba says it's a halogen, so pretty much wasted in reality. It's an 80-watt LED light. Okay. Okay, Bomba sent a video of this tank here. He still got these damn ember tetras. Yo, I need to get rid of a bunch of fish, by the way. So, ooh, the chili rasboras are looking nice. I gave Bomba my chili rasboras, and I think they're living a much better life. But I will say, you know, I'll give myself credit. I kept them in good condition and good health. I must have had them for almost a year, and they're looking good. They're looking very red, you know. So I'm happy about that. I'm trying to still downsize in species. It's very difficult because the problem is I don't want to be a fish hoarder, but when you're kind of like collecting a bunch of stuff, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get to that project. I'm trying to be realistic. You know what I mean? It's like one of the fish that I probably should just rehome is the sailfin tetras. They're doing well. They look great. I'm feeding them pretty nicely and stuff like that. Realistically, I'm not going to get around to focusing on them super hard to try and breed them specifically. You know what I mean? Was that Monte Carlo? Love the mirror effect. Nice, Bomba. Wait, let's go back on that. I think that's Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo and Cuba mix, Bomba says. None of the chili rasboras died, Bomba said. I'm very surprised. See, I've been keeping them in good health. I'll be honest. The one paper we read about after purchase mortalities in fish being because of... Basically, the theory was... I know this is a goldfish. And the theory was that when the fish are in farmed conditions, they're hit with so much antibiotics and all this stuff that they don't have a very diverse like microbiota in their gut or blah, 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 blah. So you bring them back to your aquarium, which might be a bit more stuff in it, and then they just have a complete collapse. That kind of makes sense to me because it does feel like if you get a fish and you have it for a while, it seems to be pretty bulletproof for the most part, you know. But new fish, they might just drop dead on you. Obama said, look at the rest of the video. What do you mean look at it? I played the whole video. Oh, wait. Am I not showing the freaking thing? My bad. Sorry. Here I am yapping. I run CO2 on all my tanks inline atomizers. Very nice. Oh, Yuio said, got to go. Great live stream. Appreciate you stopping by, Yuio. Get some rest. I know it's like 5 a.m. there. Why are you people over across the pond? You never sleep? Like, or you're all retired? You probably got like some great retirement benefits or something. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. Jacob said, I have a tank that's always open for new friends. But then I gotta ship something. We're the nerdy ones, Mick said. I gotta get ready for school. Nah, I never sleep. Oh, yeah, retirement's not anytime close. Nice ass tanks, Bomba. In the flesh of nice, Bomba. You know, isn't it nice when someone that talks shit in the chat, like, At least he actually has some nice tanks. You know, he's like insufferable. He's an asshole and all this stuff. You know what I mean? He's just the worst. But by the way, stream is wrapping up. I'm gonna hop in the VC. For the wrap up of stream, we'll be doing this more often. So there's a voice chat channel in my tanks called Live on YouTube. So if you want to be on stream and be chatting audio wise, I'm gonna hop in the VC as we wrap this up and go through the videos. Put the link to that in the chat. Mick said, did you see my beta vid? No, I haven't seen it yet. We're going through. JP Jeffries sent this video. Oh shit, that looks like a bunch of Apistogramma McMastereye gold. Yo, I had a pair of these forever. They're beautiful. They laid eggs 5 times. And Planaria ate the eggs every time. I didn't realize until the last time. And then they bloated and died. So this is on my list of fish I want to breed, like, to redeem myself. Because how I look at it is, if I get a pair of fish and I somehow kill them, or they die or whatever, if I can get them again, but then breed like 20 of them, I've been a net add. You know, it's a net positive. It's kind of a crazy way to think about it, but sometimes if I get a fish and it dies, I'm like, okay, but if I get it again and I breed more than I lost, and I've redeemed myself. Big C said, I just lost my male McMastereye tonight. Oh, damn, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I've basically only lost fish to some kind of bloating issue. That's the only thing I really lose fish to. Bloating issues, and sometimes like they get a scrape and it kind of like infected. I'm in a pretty stable place right now, though. I'm not really losing a bunch of fish right now. I had a bit of an ick outbreak in one tank that seemed to be isolated, and I lost one of my Procatopus to the other species, but I still have a male and female from that. But besides that, things are better right now than they have been in the past. I still have a 40 breeder. One of my trouble 40 breeders is now stabilized. I don't have any issues in that. But there's another one where it still seems like they got like some white patches. Like, so I've been doing daily water changes. Ick X, because I feel like there's some kind of weird bacterial fungal thing going on. But yeah, that it sucks losing fish. I'm still so upset. The male pike literally brings me pain every time I think about it. But some of the babies are getting larger, so maybe sometime in the next month or two I'll have a male pike grown up from the fry and I'll be able to replace them. But I still kind of want to buy a male and pair him up with the female I have. She's gorgeous. This is the Wallacea Regina. Mick said Jeff Pelham may have an extra one for you, Steve. And then Steve said Mick is complicated. Steve said, I'm saying he aged out. He was like a solid 4 inches and not longer. Damn, he was big when I got him. Papa said, Steve, you pretend to have aquascaping knowledge. You can't show me a tank. Steve said, I'm scared, Papa. He's got all breeding tanks right now, man. He's all breeding tanks. Yo, Bamba, hop in the VC. All right, let's take a look at this video JP sent. Yeah, this is the McMastereye. Mick said the thing with the pistos is you need to show you got females or people don't want to pay. So that's an interesting thing, because I'm facing that with killifish right now, because I think my Galaris might be kind of male heavy, but I feel like with killifish, maybe there is a market of people that just want the males that are pretty and aren't interested in breeding them. I don't know if that's the same with the pistos. I feel like people they're looking for a centerpiece fish, and I'll see them on Reddit recommend like a male, a pisto or something. Like, I feel like it's kind of a thing, but I don't know. I feel like JP is like a secret master breeder, because we see all the McMastereyes growing out, and then we see some Pseudomygal furcatus here that look excellent. Although, is that some cyanobacteria, or is that just some glowing green radioactivity? Yo, Mississippi Hippie Sherry in the chat said, hey y'all with the wave. What's up, Mississippi Hippie? Big C said I posted one. Okay, let me take a look. Ooh. Ooh, look, JP got so many tanks. Okay, first of all, why is there two heaters in here, JP? But damn, those barbs are looking fantastic. What's the purpose of this tank? That's what I'm saying. Some people always in the chat on the YouTube live streams, you're like, when you see a hit of their fish room, you're like, what does this person got going on? Because everything looks kind of nice and cool to some degree. On average, everything JP sends seems pretty cool, but he's got some nice ass fish. I know he breeds a lot of fish because we've seen him with a bunch of rainbows and stuff, but damn, the barbs are looking good too. Makes it really cool fish. I'm trying to remember what barb this is. My instinct says like a teardrop barb is like the common name. JP, is this Dakincia rohani? That's the only thing that comes to my mind when I see this. Let me know if I got that right. Tear spot, let's go. Big Steve said mascara. Is that the same thing? Same common name? No, I think that's a little bit different actually. Let's go. Yeah. The tear spot barbs is Dakincia rohani. And the mascara barbs is Dakincia assimilis. Well, I got Big Steve. I beat him. Let's go. In the Flesh Aquatics says they look very healthy. Oh, Big Steve said I meant to put a question mark after mine. All right, buddy. Nice save. Nice save. Mama said pull up the breeding tank with a tree sticking out the middle. All right, let's see. Okay, we have to seriously rate a tank again, okay? Big Steve has finally come in with a freshwater submission. Bomba's been talking all this shit in the chat. What do you guys think of this tank? Now this, wait, let me guess the fish. Is this Nisonai? So I bought some Epistogram Pandora from Elite Menagerie Habitats. Mick harassed me from weeks and weeks and weeks saying that it was actually Nisonai. It wasn't Pandora. So I bought some Pandora from Grace. You got them from a different source. We compared them. I think Mick was right. I think the ones I got from Louise were probably Nisonai because the ones I got from Grace are a lot different than Pandora. I bring that up to say, am I right in saying this might actually be Pandora? Because my Nisonai got a lot of yellow on the body, but this one does have a decent amount of yellow, but it doesn't have as much as my Nisonai. So, but you know their colors vary. Steve says Nisonai. Obama said, pull up after I pull up the 30 cube. Mississippi Hippie Sherry said, I'm gonna have to participate in this sometime. My skipping styles is a little bit different. Where are y'all posting these? There's a link pinned in the chat. You can submit to my Discord or you can send it to me. It's at my channel name at Gmail, inmytanks@gmail.com. Okay. So what do you guys think? This is a tank from Big Steve. We're rating out of 42. I have some guidelines of how you could potentially try and rate it on the top left, but yeah, we're rating this out of 42. What do you guys think? JP said, very nice, natural abyss looking background. Bamba said, no structure or depth. Plant health is lacking. Fish look healthy. The stick is throwing everything out of balance. The stick. All right, let me get in here. First of all, the plant health looks fine. What are you talking about? The plant health looks good. The plant looks good. Mick said, oh, Mick is talking to Mississippi Hippie saying, we're just looking at tanks for fun and for discussing. That's true. We don't take this too seriously. Oh, God damn. That's for the baby fish I'm seeing. I'm seeing some nice Nisonai fry. So that explains why the patterning was a little bit different. Because look at this. We got some baby fish here. I see one. Now, I'm experiencing with some dwarf cichlids. I have a bunch of dwarf cichlids for fry right now, actually. And once you get them to a certain, you start seeing, there's a lot of attrition. But once they get to a certain size, you're kind of like, okay, this is how many I have. I have some hong soy fries, some Nissanai. Well, actually, they're pretty big now. I got some more cockatoides. I'm hoping the Nanochromis Pirellius come through this time. They got a bunch of fry. The gold convicts. I got a lot of George Sickler fries. So, like, it's kind of a breath of relief once they get to this size, because you're probably not going to lose that many fry, if any. And damn, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe that's 7, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, maybe like 11 fry that I'm seeing right now with the orange bellies. So there's some nice baby brine shrimp, I bet. Bamba said 1 point for every fish. Steve said there's 20 to 25 fry in there. And Mississippi Hippie says, sounds good, Mick. Mick said, LOL, you too. We love Big Steve and Bamba's rivalry we got going on. Okay, so fish health, I'm going to have to break this down by category. So fish quality of life, I got to give a 5 out of 5, all right? Because the baby's doing well. Mom's looking great. Dad's looking great. They got all these caves they can excavate, dig up themselves. Lots of different choices. Fish health, 5 out of 5. Structure, I like the tree in the middle. I like it. We got the one in the back. There's a little bit of depth. But I would say there's a general lack of structure just because it's mostly moss. You know what I mean? It's mostly moss. So structure, I'm gonna give it a 3.8 on the structure. You know, there's not. Well, actually, there's a bunch of houses and stuff. There's a bunch of caves. I'm gonna give it 4 on structure. Look how many structures are in there. Bamba said, "Do you know what depth is? Look, we got tree in the front, tree in the back. Look, the sponge filter in the distance, looking smaller, provides more depth. And then we have the boss. It does go quite vertically. You know what I mean? While we had the caves up front in our face, that creates depth. So I'm gonna give the depth. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. No, I'm gonna give it 3.8. I'm gonna give the depth a 3.7. Just say a new number every time. Now this is a controversial one, okay? Plant health. Mama said, "Holy glaze." Listen, we gave you very high scores, okay? Now, Bamba claimed plant health was lacking, but like, I'm not seeing any unhealthy plants. Where's the unhealthy plants? I'm not seeing algae on them. I'm not seeing them dying and yellowing. The plants are looking great to me. This Val here, like, there's a little bit of melting I see on that, but like, it's not like he's like cutting and replanting these stems. Bamba said, "Look at the stringy ass moss." What? The moss is supposed to be stringy. In the flesh said 32. Guys, put in your ratings for this tank. Let's go. Bamba said, "Look at the Ludwigia." Steve said the Ludwigia are pretty leggy. Maybe it's hard for me to judge because my Ludwig. Okay, this one I guess is a little bit late. Look at the valve in the front. I talked about the valve in the front. Look, this Ludwigia though looks good. Looks fantastic. Looks like a master plant breeder is at the helm of this ship. All right, what do you guys rate this tank from Big Steve? I like it. It's a fantastic breeding setup. The fish are doing incredible. Big Steve is the best hobbyist breeder in the United States and the best breeder of Nanochromis transvestitis in the world. Bamba said, "Want to see how that plant, that's Ludwigia ovalis. Want to see how that plant should look like." Steve said, "If it had CO2, it would be 75% better." Dude, I still need to add CO2 to my tank. I'm scared to mess with the CO2 tank and like install the splitter. I'm gonna be honest. JP Jeffrey said 39. Bamba said throw some CO2 in there. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it a 36. As someone that's a breeder, it's hard for me to give it any lower than this. This is a very nice breeding tank. You know what I mean? 36 out of 42. Could it use some structure? Could the plants be trimmed and replanted, and we have more stuff going on there? Yeah. But I mean, I gotta give it a 36 out of 42. JP says you'll gas your fish for sure. What? Person said I think aesthetics is where the most points are deducted. I don't know how many off. Yeah, I think aesthetic is where that's why I'm gonna give it a 36 out of 42 because I feel like it does pretty good in most of the categories. Aesthetically, you might have different preferences. Come on, man, just look at the baby fish. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? Okay. Shit. Okay. I think we got through everything everyone sent. Steve said, I've already gassed $1,000 worth of fish. I learned that lesson. Holy. Sorry to hear that, Big Steve. I do remember you talking about that, though. Bomba's trying to send some pictures of Ludwigia. Yo, unsolicited Ludwigia pics. This is just crazy. This is what Ludwigia should look like. Okay, bro. Make your Etsy listing then. Yeah, let me make sure I react to some of these. No, I think we got through all the submissions. It's been a nice little stream, guys. It's been a nice little stream. How long we been at it? Okay, 2 hours and 24 minutes. I say we wrap it up here. End on a strong note. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you for sending in tanks. Thank you for holding it down in the chat. Yes, we've been going at it pretty consistently. Shout out to the replay crew. We have a healthy replay crew. I appreciate you guys. The live people are cool. I appreciate the live people, but it does also motivate me to stream when I know that there's a decent amount of people that look forward to a 2 to 4 hour or however long replay to get them through their day. So, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys watching. I take my job seriously, okay? Because I watch a lot of streams and stuff. So I want to stay consistent because, God damn it, if this is helping you pass the time, I'm doing something positive in the world. Nick said, great as always. Baba said, do you want have a few extra? I don't know what I want. I want to install the CO2 splitter. That's what I want. I need to stop by London. We should do another London town run. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm putting up this tank. I feel like this was one of my favorite tanks of the night. So shout out from Mel for sending it in. Let me know in the comments after this live, or if you're on the replay, how you felt throughout the different tanks or different topics. Let me know any streams you think we should do coming up, and any other feedback. London Town runs Saturday. We'll have to see. There's a bunch of potential stuff going on Saturday. I might try and make the PVAS trivia Saturday because Grace is running trivia there, so I might try and make it. But I only want to go to support Grace doing it, but I really don't want to go. That's like 3 hours of driving of my Saturday. Like, I don't know. But London Town Saturday does sound better. So maybe. If you're hitting PVAS, grab me some Caradina. Perhaps. Yeah, Mel's Angels do look good. All right. With that being said, I'm going to head out. Appreciate you guys. Diana Roach said you guys are informative and entertaining. Appreciate you, Diana, for hopping in. By the way, Diana, one of the newer people have been in the chat recently, also a member. Appreciate you for that. Please let me know if there's anything in particular you want us to do streams about. I think you've kind of gotten the point. This isn't the most formatted stream. We do some rating tanks. We have a couple of formatted streams, but the time is never the same. I just kind of pop up with whatever. As always, the Discord's the best way to reach me and give me feedback. So sometimes some streams get cooked up there and then it gets to the rest of you. So if you're in the Discord, you might miss a chance to influence how the if you're not in the Discord, you might miss a chance to influence how the streams turn out. But no, I really appreciate you guys. It's a lot of fun. So next time I'm back on stream, I'm not sure exactly when it'll be, but I'm hoping to do a stream with someone. It's either going to be about native fish or it's going to be about killifish. I haven't decided which one, but it's the same guest, and that'll be Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure how much I'll get streamed tomorrow or over the weekend, but it will be a more informative guest stream coming up hopefully next week. So with that being said, this is my tanks. Shout out to you guys. And I am I'm out.